I fell in love, but as soon as I realize the feeling's mutual, I lose interest and I turn off. Sounds absurd for many people I know, and at the same time I'm sure that there are many of us. Well, I hope someone would relate. And recently I found out there's an explanation of what's going on with me and maybe with you, if you're watching this video, right? The internet is full of articles entitled, "Are you always drawn to emotionally unavailable partners?" or "Why do I keep choosing emotionally unavailable people?" So let's check it out. Oh, hi, by the way, Samantha's here and welcome back to my channel. Becoming romantically involved with someone who's not available emotionally or otherwise is a clear path towards self-sabotage. I can relate to this. All my life I've been falling for guys who were unavailable, either they were emotionally unavailable or they were straight. I thought that was just the way the story goes. I fell for them, my feelings were really strong, love was painful as it was unmutual, and I thought that's just because of a lack of luck. Better luck next time. And I got used to this circle. I made myself think that's exactly what life's about. C'est la vie. Life's not all honey, life's not all sweet. So what does emotionally unavailable even mean? Let's define it. Emotionally unavailable means that someone is closed to intimacy. This person may dissociate from their own feelings and consequently can't handle the feelings of others. You can be in a relationship and still be emotionally unavailable. There is always an emotional distance. Emotionally unavailable people can also be called disconnected, avoidant, codependent, anxious. Thing is that according to multiple researches I found on the web, it's because of you. Because of you, never strayed far from the sidewalk. It's because of us. We ourselves are acting as a magnet and drawing these people to our lives and fall in love with them. I know it almost sounds as a conspiracy theory or something like it's destiny, it's my fate. As a matter of fact, it's basic psychology. Oh girl, myself and my love experience is a pure example of drawing emotionally unavailable people.
Sickos never scare me.
When we go on Grindr or Hornet or Tinder, particularly Tinder, those apps where, the match thing's present. So what normal people be like? Oh my god, this guy's totally my type. Blue eyes, blonde hair, and the bio is exactly what I need in my partner. So he's up to LTR and he's fond of cats. Oh my god, and he enjoys reading classics just like me. And you wanna know the best part? It's perfect match between us. Oh my god, I'm going on a date. We'll be living happily ever after. Oh, it's a match. Good, good. Oh, he's saying hi? Actually, this is not what I need. My feelings towards Brad, that guy from college. Yeah, those feelings were real. And this is just a Tinder match. Nah, I don't need it. I don't feel chemistry. Of course you don't feel chemistry, you haven't met the person in real life yet. You didn't have time to fantasize all sort of shit. And even after a couple of dates, even though everything's perfect during the dates, the guy seems to be an interesting person, physically your type, he likes you, but you keep on comparing your feeling, your chemistry with those you had towards someone in the past. Someone you think you were genuinely in love with. Someone who was not that easy to reach. And more often than not, someone who is emotionally unavailable. From my personal experience, I found that what I call true chemistry, it only sparked within me when I encountered or connected with someone in person, not through the internet. Those were usually classmates, university friends, or even colleagues. The most recent instance of experiencing such a genuine affection was with my surgeon. Can you imagine that? And you know what? I always considered dating apps to be somewhat forced, strained, non-natural. I do understand that's a great option for many people. After all, this is what the modern world is like. But deep down, I've always known that a dating app wouldn't be the place where I'd find someone I truly connect with on a deeper level. Call me old-fashioned, but I used to think that dating through apps felt a bit contrived. It's like you're trying to script your own fate, and that's just not how it's meant to be. I always thought that finding a meaningful connection should happen by chance, just like in those romantic movies. I mean, think about it. How many romantic movies have you seen where the main characters meet through a dating app? I'd wager none. So I've always chosen to take the longer route. Easy isn't what we're after. We're in search of that genuine chemistry that sets our souls on fire. And maybe that's where we've gone wrong all along. Our relentless pursuit of chemistry had led us down dead-end relationships, or worse, no relationships at all. We unknowingly sabotage ourselves, and the blame probably shouldn't fall solely on those emotionally unavailable folks. It's time we turn the spotlight on ourselves and start seeking answers within. So it's pretty interesting how we tend to always be drawn to those who seem out of reach, rather than gravitating towards someone who objectively matches us perfectly in terms of interests and other factors. It's like we're stuck in this never-ending cycle of attraction, a pattern that some psychologists have labeled the broken compass of attraction. And honestly, looking at my own situation, I can't help but think they might be onto something.
Perhaps you're right.
I mean, I'm not claiming to be the most unattractive or unintelligent person out there. I think I'm fairly decent individual. Yet here I am, hitting 35 and still flying solo. It's hard not to see the truth in what these psychologists are saying, the notion of a broken compass of attraction. And it's not some cosmic destiny, and it's definitely not like I'm cursed or anything supernatural like that. Just like I said, it all boils down to basic psychology. It's all just a recurring pattern that took root from my early experiences, shaping my understanding of love and relationships. You see, my parents' relationship was marked by emotional distance and unresolved conflicts. With my dad did not even living with us, I couldn't help but feel the absence, always yearning for his presence, hoping for more visits and shared moments. So growing up in an environment devoid of emotional closeness, I ended up internalizing this distant dynamic as the standard way things were supposed to be. During those formative years, my compass for healthy love became skewed. It's like my brain was wired to chase after what I knew, even if it meant diving into a world of pain. You know, humans are wired to gravitate toward the familiar. And if growing up meant dealing with inconsistency, vying for love and attention, or enduring emotional wounds, then deep down, we tend to seek our partners who replicate those same feelings. Think about it, our psyche does this dance. It tries to recreate the scenes from our childhood where we were wounded, perhaps hoping that this time we can rewrite the ending and heal our own wounds in the process. It's like our subconscious is on a mission to save us by changing the course of a story that's been etched into our past. And this is the truth I had long avoided, girl. But hey, there's some practical steps we can take to mend that broken compass of attraction. So here's the first piece of advice: venture outside your visual type. The goal here is to go on dates with people who might be compatible with you, even if that intense romantic spark isn't immediately present. And this is the hardest part, girl. Building healthy relationship is no walk in the park. It demands patience, caution, and a good deal of elbow grease. So relationships are genuine hard work, no doubt about it. But I've always been willing to put in the effort, but only when that magical, heart-racing romantic chemistry is involved. You know what I mean? It's that instant connection, that elusive spark that I've been holding out for. I've never felt it after just a couple of meetings, after a single date, and now here comes this advice. Keep going, even if the love bug hasn't bitten yet. Keep trying to nurture a connection. Now don't get me wrong, it's not a ludicrous suggestion, it actually makes sense on a logical level. What I'm saying is, it's tough. And I'm not entirely sure I can pull it off. Typically, I lose interest in someone if that enchanting romantic chemistry, my own romantic chemistry, because let's face it, humans can be a tad self-centered, just isn't there. Number 2, reframe it from dating to connecting. Instead of approaching it as dating, think of it as a journey to connect with someone. Forget about trying to find your soulmate or future life partner. Instead, focus on creating a genuine connection. Remember, chemistry is something that develops over time. Oh, the struggles of love. Chemistry, my friends, takes its sweet time to brew. But it's not what we're accustomed to, isn't it? And guess what? it's far cry from those romantic movies or the tale-spanning novels. I used to hold on to the quote by Julio Cortázar about love, how it's like a lightning bolt striking you to your core and leaving you vulnerable in the courtyard. Beautiful, isn't it? But let's be real, it's nothing like what we encounter in everyday life. But here's the cool part, all you need to figure out is, am I enjoying myself? And when it's all said and done, ask yourself, do I want to hang out with this person again? That's the bottom line. Your brain might not interpret it as a romantic chemistry right away, and you know what, that's perfectly alright. Honestly, it doesn't sound all daunting to me, I'm willing to give it a shot. Well, who knows, maybe this little shift in perspective could lead to something unexpectedly wonderful.
You wish.
Recognize that intensity does not equate to love. If you have a history of dating people because you were following the initial intense chemistry, this is a signal that your chemistry compass is pointing you in the wrong direction. Which in this case, my personal compass of attraction, which is broken, can be called 200 kilometers per hour in the wrong lane. Instead of viewing intense chemistry as a green light to go, you should consider it as a signal to stop. Love is not a fast-paced, hot-cold, anxiety-ridden roller coaster ride. Intensity should be your signal to slow down, not speed up. I know it's quite the reality check. It's nothing like the grand romantic gestures we're used to seeing in movies, right? You know, I've had my fair share of dates too. Sometimes there isn't that instant chemistry, it's alright, especially if you're just looking for a casual connection, for an HU. You know what an HU means, girl. It's a up. So we've all had those hookups, no judgment there, but here's where it gets interesting. I've stumbled upon a curious pattern. Sometimes I need to let go of someone first, and then after a span of time, could be a few months, maybe half a year, I start sensing the chemistry slowly creeping in. The irony though is that more often than not the other person has moved on by then. It's a bit of a tough spot, isn't it? But hey, it's a learning curve and we're all just figuring out the intricacies of this crazy thing called love. Number 4 or 5. Slow down and get an accountability partner to keep you in check. The intensity can cause you to overlook the red flags and get so emotionally entangled that you don't see that your chemistry compass has taken over and set you down a dead-end road again. Oh girl, this is basically all my life. My chemistry compass has taken over and sent me down a dead-end road again.
Luck has nothing to do with it.
And finally, number 5, to my mind, the wisest advice ever. Practice receiving love. When someone shows up for you, is compassionate, supportive, loving, attentive, practice receiving love. Yeah, this is very often uncomfortable, particularly from a person you haven't truly fallen for. For people whose compass is broken, just like mine, it's really hard to receive love from someone who offers genuine affection and support. We are rarely interested in such people, but we have to make us be interested in them.
Chris is a great guy, and he's smart, and he cares. But maybe he's just a little bit, like, vanilla?
So according to all these articles from the internet, that's the only way to get to know what healthy love feels like. Anyways, I wish y'all in this labyrinth of love where emotions intertwine and hearts collide. Find your true love and build genuinely healthy relationships. If you liked my video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And by the way, Samantha adores coffee. And there's a website called Buy Me a Coffee. Girl, please consider supporting my channel through Buy Me a Coffee website or through Patreon. All links gonna be below. That's it for today. Thank you for watching my video. There are plenty of other videos here on my channel. See you soon. Bye.